this works. I don't think I've gone live through my phone in a long time, but good to see you guys. Hail, brothers and sisters out there. I hope the background noise isn't too much. There's a highway right next to me. It's good to see you guys. Wanted to go live, say hi. Last live stream I did, thankfully Tina and a couple of people let me know that there was a copyright strike on it. I was just trying something different. I never really got hit. I think I get hit with like, or not a strike, but it brought it down for a minute. I don't even think I've had but like maybe one other of those in the 4 years I've been streaming. So first time, second time for everything. Good to see you. Thank you so much. So just I made a video earlier. It was very aggressive like my old videos. I haven't been able to do one of those in a while because I calmed down, and then there's this strange peace. Like when you find peace, and you can start focusing aggression again. I had a dream last night about what I had been through, and I woke up and I was disturbed. I know that when you are a person who is fighting traits within yourself or trying to change who you are. If there's a chat here, I can't see it. Let me see if I can turn this. Can I turn this and see a chat? Rotate device. Maybe. No, I don't know. If y'all are chatting, I don't know if I can see it. I apologize for that. Wait, is there a chat button here? It's been so long since I've used this. Top chat, live chat. I don't know. We'll say, I don't know. If you guys are chatting, hail to you. Thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciate you. What I discovered long ago, I used to have, still can now and again, anger issues. That was passed on to me from both my parents, who are very passionate people, very emotional people. And so one of my defense mechanisms when I was an introvert was to be aggressive. Just, you know, I'm the fight or flight. Not to say that I haven't ever been in flight, but I'm a fighter more than I'm a fighter. And I realized at one point that natural defense of aggression was taking over. And it was years and years ago. And so I began to make a concerted effort not to get upset. Meditation practices, mantras, relaxation practices, anything that I could use to calm myself and to not be emotionally reactive. Crazy. You go through narcissistic abuse, and then it's all emotional reactivity, right? I think some of those lessons helped me early on, but after the abuse and the trauma bond got stronger, you know, I reverted. I think I reverted in some ways. But while I was doing that years ago, I would have these things I'd call them rage mares. I would begin to have dreams about things that pissed me off, or about fighting. Just like, I don't know, just like I'd be in a dream and I would be getting chased or something, and I would turn and fight. You know, I can't remember exactly what they were, but I remember having them. And while I was doing the research to help change this behavior in me, I found out that your body gets used to the neuropeptides that get dumped into your blood. It gets your cells, as they divide, they create more receptors for different things, you know, toxins, emotions, and less for things like vitamins, minerals, and things like that. And so I had trained my body over so long, of most of the course of my life, that it was always going to get aggression. It was always going to get anger, you know, hate. It was going to get that. And it was retraining my body not to do that. It began to starve the cells. Began to starve the cells in my body that were expecting all that aggression. And so your body, which can be nefarious to you, will attack you in your sleep. It will send messages up to, a lot of times when you have like instances where you're starting to think about something or someone, or when you're trying to better yourself or trying to change your behaviors, and you'll start getting instant thoughts through your head. And that's because your body's sending signals to your brain and saying, hey, we need this. Summon up a memory or summon something up that will create this response and dump this neuropeptide into the bloodstream. And it's the seat of your soul. It's your consciousness, you stopping it, you consciously stopping those thoughts in order to stop those reactions and stop those emotions from occurring. So your body will attack you when you sleep. And I really wish I could see the chat. Welcome to I wish I could. I don't even know where this thing is. And so what happened during that time was my body was sending messages up to my brain and saying, yo, we need anger. We ain't got our hate this week. What's going on? And it would give me rage mares. And after so long, those would abate. When you go through prolonged periods of depression, anger, the trauma bond, the same thing that trauma bond created in us. When you go through prolonged periods of that, it will, your body gets used to it. And so as you are fighting it, as you're fighting and changing your thought patterns and becoming a better person, better version of yourself, or changing those traits that have become toxic to you, your body will fight you. Send those messages up to your brain and try and get you to be angry or depressed or sad, whatever the case is. And I think physically I'm going through kind of like the death throes of it, because I've changed enough, I've become healthier enough at this point, that I've healed enough at this point that I'm not allowing myself to be thrown into fits of depression. Like, do I still have memories of Narc X and what I went through? Absolutely. There are still things that trigger me. I don't want to see a motorcycle. See a motorcycle. I'm getting over that right now. It's one of the things I'm working on right now. I don't want to see a motorcycle. People I was triangulated with were bikers, gay bikers, and I don't mean like gay as in happy. I mean gay, very aggressive, bad people. Thieves and liars and woman beaters and that shit. And so I grew a disdain for motorcycles. Like, I don't want to see a biker. I see a biker, I think of a lion woman beater getting pegged in the ass. Like, I don't want to see that shit. But that has to change, because not all people are like that. And keeping that thought pattern in myself only continues the abuse. At myself, only continues those toxic thought patterns. And it brings me to negativity. I got to stop doing that shit. I have friends who have bikes, so I got to stop doing that. Since I have been refusing to hail the chat, by the way, thank you guys so much for being here. Please smash the like and share out the link and all that stuff. Well, I'm trying to figure out why is the chat not showing up. The chat is just not showing up, and I'm sorry, guys. I like to interact with y'all. I apologize, but thank you very much for being here. So if you have any questions during this, if you would do me a favor, unless the chat comes up and I can see you, if you would put it in the comments after the video's over or the live stream's over, I'll respond to every single one of your questions. Okay, appreciate you. So now when I have thoughts of what I went through, her, things like that, I try not to look at it in a negative way. I try to be neutral about it. Like, am I in love with that person? No, never should have been. I am not in love with that person. I say that to myself over and over again all the time. Do I miss them? No, I do not miss the abuse. I do not miss the smearing. I don't miss the people telling me about the hate streams. I don't miss other YouTubers dogpiling on, and oh, there we go. There's the chat. What's up? How you doing, Speedy Rider? Hail to you. No, I don't miss the other toxic, narcissistic, awful, lying, terrible, god-awful, never achieve anything real in life, never become a better person, hate streamers out there who attack me. No, don't miss them. What's up, Mr. Tickle Trunk? Good to see you. All right, chat's coming up. Thank God. I was worried there for a minute. And no, I don't. When I get to those points, I just stop. I stop myself, but I'm not hateful. Before, I had to be really angry. I had to get angry. It was my defense mechanism, my old trusted defense mechanism that got reactivated. When you are dealing with a toxic person who's trying to spread their damage into you, they will they'll figure out those trigger points, and they'll hit them, and they'll hit those pressure points, because they'll use them as a part of the manipulation process. And So as I've calmed that back down, no, I'm not going to get angry again. I'm just going to simply say, no, I do not love this person. I am not in love with this person. I do not miss this person. When I start thinking about the good times, because that's what a lot of us do when we go through this type of abuse, we think about the good times. And then, got to remember that the good times are only good because the bad times are horrible. In my experience, it was like being brought up to a new high with new promises and new future faking to be crashed down to a new low. Like with that, and that's what it was, constantly. So the good times are not good times. You find yourself, as you're, at least for me, as I'm healing, find myself going to the old excuses and thinking about that person in another, in the way that I used to. What's up, Papa Cotton? Hail to you. Good to see you, buddy. And that's like your body trying to excuse it yourself, trying to train yourself to go back into negative thought patterns. Because if when we go through our trauma bond, when we go through that manipulation, we're brought up to a high to be crashed down to a low. And so your body is just used to dealing with that confusion. And as I've been healing, I'm kind of going through the death throes of that. I think that I'm at the point now where I'm consciously dealing with it whenever it comes up. And I'm thankful to say at this point, there are entire days where I don't have to fight it. I don't have to go back into it. I think there's at least one instance during every day that I think of that relationship. But it's become very easy for me to just to dismiss it with neutrality, or look at it without using anger. So when you get, here we go. Mr. Tickle Trunk says, you do seem a lot less angry. It's actually weird, but good weird. I am less angry. I'm kind of way back to where I was before YouTube, in an odd way. When I first started doing YouTube, I was involved in a grassroots movement. For those of you that don't know or watching this later, it was called the Fandom Menace, and it was just a bunch of geeks and nerds who were pissed off about our modern myths being used for political garbage that it didn't need to be used for. And so I was very passionate then, and I did get angry, but it was a focused anger. Or focused aggression, which is what I did today on the video that I did today. It was focused aggression. I'm not actually that mad at the individual involved, or that I was with, but I'm upset at what had happened, and so I focus on that. I did it for 3-4 minutes, and then that's it. I go into the editing, release it, let it go. Having had that dream last night. Oh, Mr. Tickle Truck also says it's been a long time since I last saw you relaxed, but I'm actually really relaxed, and that's why the dream last night really got to me. I had a very, very intense dream. Body trying to pull me back into that old chemical addiction. Don't know if my cells are dividing again, or don't know what changes are happening, other than how I've been regulating my own system, my own thought process, and my spirit energy. But it was like trying to pull me back into that cycle. Wake up, and now normally back when I would just gone through it, or while I was going through the abuse, I would wake up and I'd be miserable all day. I'd be upset, miserable. Sometimes I'd be completely useless, just lay in bed, not unable to do anything, just trying to sleep it off. This time, however, I got up, I got some water, got one outside, got a little sun, done, released. That's it. But the fit of going through that still resonates. Like I still remember, it triggers those memories and the things that I had gone through. And so I took that, and instead of dismissing it, I confronted it, and I created a video and used that aggression and focused it. And it was a good video. I think it's getting a lot of hits on TikTok, thank God, because I haven't gotten a big one on TikTok in a minute. And it's another side note, by the way. I don't know if it's passion, I don't know if it's aggression, I don't know if it's hate, I don't know if it's anger, but it seems that those types of videos get a lot more traction. Not to say that some of my positive videos haven't gotten traction, but people like anger, or people like passion. Not that they're the same thing, but they really enjoy those. So maybe I'll focus that up a little bit more. I think that as I have healed during my healing journey, my ability to control myself has increased back to what it should have been. And that's going to happen with y'all. First off, I want to say, hail to all my brothers and sisters out there, my fellow thrivers, survivors, from narcissistic abuse or toxic personalities, toxic abuse, who have made it as far as you have, that are still out there trucking. Even if you're still going through the trauma bond, even if you're still going through struggling with no contact, congratulations. Congratulations for still being here, because there's some of us that don't make it. There's some of us that go through this type of targeted harassment and do not make it. And that's a shame. But you guys out there that are still fighting, still bettering yourself, still working on yourself, I'm proud of you. You're my heroes. Hands down, y'all are my heroes. Thank you so much for leading by example and also being here for other people who are going through what we go through. Ms. Tickletrunk says, people are 10 times more attracted to spreading bad news. The trick is to make it about passion instead. Trick people into watching something positive. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Well, that's along the line, kind of along the lines of what I want to do. I want to help to reinforce people who have gone through this type of abuse with a positive message, positive messaging. I think that's I've made a few promises to myself, Mr. Tickletrunk, and those promises, I can't tell them all, but one of them is really stop talking about the ex. You know, I really want to get to a point where it's only a reference. It really, to me, it's just a reference point. Like, I went through this. I understand what happened to you. I went, through this very similar situation. That's something that I want. Man, he in here rocking. That's something I really want to do. Because one of my points in Dragonstorm content is do not become the person who abused you. Do not become the abuser. Toxic people want you to be as miserable as they are. All right, wherever their toxicity comes from, being fearful, afraid of looking at themselves, afraid of being who they are, jealousy of other people, wherever that negativity comes from in them that makes them a piece of shit. You don't want to do that. Their job is to spread pain. Our job is to stop that. Do not pass on pain. Said that for a long time. The sins of my grandparents or my parents or other people, whatever wrong they have done to me, it is my job to stop, filter that, transmute that energy, and not pass on pain. I think that's very important, especially if you're a parent. Not passing your pain, that pain onto them and giving them a better life, better outlook, making them helping them to be a healthier person. And I think that exists in anyone that we interact with. So I don't want to be that. For the longest time, I shut my mouth as much as I could while, there was week after week after week live streams going on, just smearing me, just talking shit, telling lies and nonsensical bullshit. And then it spread to other YouTubers who were holding fucking live streams because they're miserable fucks who destroy other people and, just telling lies and bullshit. And I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. I'm past that point. I have forgiven. I forgave her for me. But it's also a reference point that I have to use to move on. And I also don't want to make like straight hateful content. That's not what I want to do. That's not where where the direction of this channel is, where it should be. Let's see. He says, maybe try a rage sandwich, positive, anger, positive, or the other way around. Dude, I can flip that switch real easy. I can flip the anger or the passion switch on pretty damn easily. With the last several months while I was going through healing, I'm still healing, but while I was going through my healing journey, I had to calm. It's one of the reasons why I separated myself from a lot of people. I still do, because I've learned many lessons throughout this experience. But I needed to come to a place of calm, and the only way to do that was to regulate my own system. And I think that all of us survivors from narcissistic abuse, we have to do that. Telling y'all, in the strangest way, you take the experience that we went through and use it to better yourself. Learn from it. We were susceptible to narcissistic abuse, toxic abuse, whatever type of person they were, sociopath, psychopath, whatever they were. We were susceptible to that because we had weaknesses we had not shored up in ourselves. Right? This is the positive. I'm not saying anybody deserves this. Nobody deserves this shit. Nobody deserves to be treated, lied, smeared, lied to, lied about, hoovered, treated like garbage, made to feel like shit. Nobody deserves any of that, okay? That's on that demon, that hoovering hobgoblin. All right, that's on them. Their karma's gonna come for them, trust and believe. They're gonna get older, and they ain't gonna be able to lie as well, and they ain't gonna be get over as well. So even if nature doesn't take care of that ahead of time, when they start getting older, they're not gonna be able to pull the same tricks that they used to. Where the hell was I going with that? You don't want to become them. All right, don't let them spread. They spread enough damage into you. They got you enough. Take this experience and make it a positive, which is something that they'll hate. Look, that's in spite of that narcissist. That's in spite of those toxic people, right? Those toxic people are out there talking trash, the flying monkeys. They're out there trying to smear you, trying to disparage you, trying to get people to hate you, trying to get people to look at you the way that they look at you, trying to hide who they are, keep that mask on, and smearing and coming after you, right? Imagine how much it would break their fragile, fucking toxic ego for you to take this wholly negative, abusive, awful experience and use it to create a better version of yourself. When I get this channel monetized, not only will I teach y'all how to get back at the narc, because you can get your revenge. There's ways to do it. You can do it. I will teach you. I did it. I did it to a few of them at this point. But I will also teach you how to further that revenge simply by being a better version of yourself. By growing into a better version of who you are, taking that experience, shoring up, creating better boundaries, understanding yourself, knowing your worth, and understanding how to get rid of, how to get away from, how to deflect, how to embarrass, how to clown toxic people, because you can easily clown them. Remember, they're toxic because they have a problem inside they have unresolved, and they project that onto you. That's why they're hateful. That's why they're nasty. Don't know if their parents beat him. Don't know if they had a funny uncle. Don't know what exactly the issue was that they dealt with that at one point made them a victim. At one point. Now, that damage was put into them. They chose not to fix it. And then they chose to spread that damage. And when they chose to embrace their demons, become it, and spread that damage, that's when they became evil. But before that, they were victims just like anybody else who suffers any kind of childhood trauma or severe trauma or severe abuse. We can go back to the chat real quick. That's why I suggested, Mr. Tukatrunk says, that's why I suggested, I remember you talked about someone doing something stupid and had a 30-minute laughing fit. Still my favorite video. Yeah. Dude, which one was that? Let me know. Send me a DM. Let me know, because I'm not sure which one you're talking about. I've laughed at a few people, but some stupid people do stupid shit. What's Eastland? Good to see you, sweetheart. Sometimes do not try to rationally explain when dealing with people ignoring logic and rational thought. You love them and you keep trying. They are not trying to make a good relationship. The crab and the bucket people are still free with each other. We broke broke me financially. Me broke financially is happy. They are tricking each other with petty attacks on each other. Oh yeah. Your narcissist is your trash collector. Remember that. Your narcissist is your trash collector. Okay? One of the reasons why, I don't want to get too much into it, okay? But there is someone in the indie sphere who is actually doing a really good comic run, an entire universe. It's someone that I followed for a long time. I kind of like the guy, but I have seen him promoting this universe with toxic, awful, smearing people that there is no freaking way that you can, if you have paid attention, know that that person is not a narcissistic, toxic, awful, terrible person. And they just doing live streams with them promoting a book. I won't help promote that. I will not give energy to that. Because that's eventually going to bite that person in the ass. I mean, they're a big YouTuber, and they could probably hold their own against the other one. But I'm not going to be involved. I'm not going to add energy to that situation. And if anybody else does, that's on them. Step back and be the observer, bro. Eastland, you step back and be the observer. Don't become personally offended because you're seeing other people doing dumb shit. Just understand they doing dumb shit. It's going to bite them in the ass. Sit back and watch it. And when it happens, you'll be like, I saw that coming. Crabs in a bucket will definitely pull each other down. The flying monkeys who gathered around Narc X, they're going to the 4 winds. The ones that were targeting me have basically given up. And if they keep trying at some point, I don't give a shit. I do not give a shit. I don't care what they're doing or who they're doing it with. I don't give a fuck, because they're all losers. Toxic people will eat each other too. Like, they're not there to support another person, right? The flying monkeys, the crabs in the bucket, are crabs in the bucket. They're not actually there to support the abuser who is trying to play the victim and is holding live streams talking shit to defend their name by devaluing you and telling you lies. They're not doing that. They are there to add to the chaos. They're there to create more negative energy. They're there to feed their demons, and those demons are they're gonna feast on each other. All you gotta do is sit back and chill. Really, sometimes, and saying nothing sometimes is saying the best. Saying nothing says it all. Sometimes that is the most powerful move you can make, and the wisest for you. Let them eat each other. She says, laugh in their face. Yeah, laugh in their face. You can either laugh in their face or you can laugh to yourself. Sometimes laughing in their face is what they want, but sometimes it depends on the situation. You understand, sister? You understand? You gotta know how to play the chessboard. When I told a liar, I did not need a 4th or 5th version of what happened, right? But maybe this other person would be interested. Her face fell off when I said that. Look, tell the truth. I'll tell you that over and over again, man. One of the things that it's kryptonite to a narcissistic person, to a toxic person, to a liar. The truth is kryptonite. Keep telling the truth. Keep saying the truth. And listen, it doesn't matter who believes you. All right, because there are people out there that want to support those flying monkeys. There are people out there that want to see you fall. If you're a shining bright light, if you're a decent person, there's assholes out there. There's other types of people that sit in the periphery that are too cowardly to step up, that want to see you fall. Whatever the case may be, sometimes you just keep telling the truth. Doesn't matter, because your target is that liar, and that liar knows you're telling the truth, and that liar will eventually shrink away when you don't shut up. That's one of the steps in defeating a narcissist. I will teach you guys that when I get the channel monetized for channel members. I'll be doing a series on how to slay a narcissist. But yeah, don't care about their lies. Let them keep their different version of their lies. Projection is my favorite. Issa, projection is my favorite. My favorite. Narcex came back for a hot minute, did a stream and tried to call me gay. Because the dude that she gets beaten up by, she pegs in the ass. And it was a big thing. I stopped talking about that for a while because some of the flying monkeys took up on it and wanted to just joke about that, because they don't care about her. And they were clowning him. And they're also clowning her, and she didn't even realize it. But they're just trying to create chaos and stir me up. So I stopped talking about it for a while, but that's like the truth of it though, right? That's all projection. That cowardly dude. That cowardly noose. He wasn't even a new supply. He's just a new narcissist. He was just another narcissist I was triangulated with. Oh my God, the situation I was in. I'm writing a book about this one day. I was serious. I said this like last year. I wasn't in the right mindset about it. But yeah, I am writing a book about this experience. I will at some point. Gotta get Phantom Menace Volume 2 finished. Got a couple more interviews on that. And then I'm going to continue my science fiction, Elemental Saga. But I'm definitely at some point going to be writing about this experience. And I will do it tactfully and gracefully as I can, if the status quo remains, if this non-aggression pact stays in place. Let's see, Mr. The video might be from 2 years back. Can't find it. Oh man, I'd love to see. 2 years ago, I was in my prime. That's when I was in my prime. That was pre-abuse. That was, oh man. Mr. Tickle Drunk, I used to feel bad about losing that momentum. I mean, I recognize it now, but I feel bad about it. Nathan asked me for money on Cash App. I'm doing a live stream, Nate. I just told you that. How am I gonna do any of that? Yeah. Oh, I guess he just seen me. I used to feel bad about it, but I don't anymore. Because there was lessons I needed to learn in life. I got turned a negative into a positive, Mr. Tickle Trunk, turn it into a positive. There were lessons I had to learn. There were many people in this indie sphere that hurt me because I did not see them as liars. I didn't understand. I talked a lot about fakes and snakes back in the day, but I didn't truly understand what was going on, like in totality, because there were liars around me, manipulative people, toxic people around me, toxic people that used me. And now I understand. So I needed this. I needed to go through what I went through so I could grow as a person. And I can't wait to grow. I got a whole new Rogue crew, y'all. I got a whole new Rogue Entertainment crew. It's the best one that I've ever built. Mr. Tickle Trunk is part of that. Great content creators out there: Ryan, Roger, Athy, Horny Alf, Tina Bojan, Slender Dad, DJ Odyssey. Angelos Draven comes through when he can. He does a lot of wrestling streams, guys. If you're into wrestling, please check out Angelos Draven's channel. I got a great team of people, better than I've ever had, and I still got some of the old rogues over there who's still part of Rogue, some of those Rogue OGs. ETF Akui, The Place to Be Reviews, another great channel. Please check him out. Looking for Chris Fisk, Infantile Chronicles, comic book creator, wonderful artist, good person, probably one of the best people I've known. I'm so blessed to have Chris Fisk as a friend. Good people over there, so go check them out. And let's see. Eastland says, so I am free, and they are still living with the crabs in the buckets and with the other crabs. Worst punishment that I could have ever done to them. Exactly. Because garbage people will never grow. They may attain money. They may attain fame. They may attain status. They may get those earthly things. They're doing it through nefarious means. They're being disingenuous. Karma will come for them. Their souls are not growing. They're devolving their souls. Karma will take care of that. They are making it harder for other people or themselves in this or the next life because of how awful they are. And separating yourself from that, like I said, it's becoming the observer, Eastland, becoming the observer and just watching it unfold, or not even needing to watch it. I was told, and I know that it's very true, some friends still say it to me. Like I said, I still have healing to do, so every now and again I still let that anger out. Thank God for people like Immortal Coil. Please check out Immortal Coil's channel. He's someone I talk to weekly. He's a very wise, spiritual man. And, when we talk, sometimes I let my venom out because he understands. He's been around since the beginning of my YouTube career. And so I can let that venom out, and he comes back at me with wisdom, so I'm still through my healing journey. There are still times when I want to see some of their negative karma unfold, but really I just want to succeed and keep growing. And I want to get to a point, and I think we all should get to a point where you're more concentrated on loving yourself, respecting yourself, growing, succeeding, becoming a better person, to the point to where you don't care what's going on below you. Those people that are stuck in negative cycles, black holes that are sucking energy off of the people that can't create, that can only take from others, and you shouldn't even care what they're doing. I'm at that point. I'm at that point with a few things now. There's still a few irritants that try and make trouble around my life, but a lot of them have given up because I haven't fed them. And when I come across one of those irritants, it's just I'm the observer. You don't irritate me. I'm looking at your foolishness and understanding why you do what you do and why you're doing this. And when you're able to remove yourself, when you're able to step back and just observe and not be emotionally reactive, and don't allow yourself to be invested in a toxic person doing toxic shit. That's how I came to the understanding that the flying monkeys who are coming after me were devaluing Narc X and destroying her as much as they were coming after me. It was all just a sick, demonic, trashy game amongst toxic people. And once I realized that, it really put a lot at ease. It was like, yeah, if you're a negative shitbag person, you attract negative shitbag people. If you're a lying manipulator, you're going to attract lying manipulators. You're a toxic person, that's what you get. And so you just push on. But you're right, crabs in a bucket, girl. Just crabs in a bucket. Strive for individuality and strength of self. I am stepped back to Pluto. Yeah, that's how I feel. Girl, I was just thinking the same thing the other day. I almost got triggered by a situation, by a toxic person involved with people that I consider to be good. I almost got triggered, and then I was just like, no, I'm not in that orbit. I'm back here. You know, like I'm back here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna clap. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get in the chat and celebrate. Smash the like and smash the like and share the link. You know, what a great panel. You know, like, I don't care. Don't give a shit. You know, because that person is toxic trash. If people choose to be around toxic trash, it's because they ain't seen it yet. They don't understand yet. That person's gonna drag them down. But it ain't for me to tell them. Or they have not garnered the life experience like I did to be able to see a toxic piece of shit for what they are. And they need that experience. And it's not for me to come in and save them. Because how many times when we were going through this abuse, when we were going through a manipulative relationship, toxic relationship, how many times did friends and family try and give us advice, try to step in and say, yo, that's a goblin. No, that's not a goblin. That person's beautiful. That person loves me. That person has such potential. Like, and your friends are like, no, that's a goblin. And you're like, no, that's not a goblin. And the whole time it's a fucking goblin. And but you didn't see it. You were under the spell of the illusion. So if people can't see the goblin in the room, don't call it out. I learned this lesson a while back because I hadn't before. Back in the day, when a liar would come into a situation, or a toxic person, a manipulator, an asshole would come into a situation, a group of people, I would point the finger and go, yo, that's a piece of shit. Fuck you, you piece of shit. And everybody in the room wouldn't say shit, wouldn't say nothing. So what happened in that situation? What happened in that situation is not only did the toxic person just get called out by me, and I became a target for their vitriol, but everybody in their whisper network, every one of their flying monkeys, every one of their other toxic fellow people now have their targets on me. Because, oh my God, Steve Walton will call me out. And remember, you're talking about fearful people, toxic people who project everything, right? They're very fragile egos. So even if I don't know who everybody in that network of trash is, they're all at that point scared into, oh my God, Steve Walton's going to call me out. And so they all come after you from every freaking angle. Nasty, degenerate, lying, smearing, in the background coming after you. Also, every person in that room, not every person in that room is ignorant to who that person is. A lot of them have learned the lessons that I didn't learn. And they're not going to call that person out because they understand the rules of this toxic game. If I call that person out or I co-sign to what Steve just said, then all the fucking flying monkeys are going to come after me. They don't want that. And there's other people in that room who are in that monkey's net, who are one of those flying monkeys. One of those toxic people. You don't know it yet, but they're one of those lying, smearing pieces of trash. And they're going to come after you too. So you don't call them out. You don't, if they're a narcissistic, especially if that toxic person is narcissistic, you call them out, you feed them, you give them supply, you give them negative fuel. But it's not your job. It is not your job to explain, the particulars of any situation about a person dead to rights that is a toxic, backstabbing, awful freaking piece of shit. It is not up to you to call them out. It's up to you to defend yourself if you have to stand up, create strong boundaries, be who you are, not let that shit happen to you, but it's not up to you to call that person out. You just make yourself a target. And by the time you continue to grow past that person, they won't matter anyway. Let the haters hate. Let the toxic oxen pull the cart of your success. Your name's still getting around. It's what it is. Movie quote, they eat their wounded. Hey, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Because it's a cycle of negativity. You're dealing with toxic people and negative people, right? There's different types. Of course, there's all different types. But they all feed off of that negativity, that negative supply. So the flying monkeys who are devaluing the narc, their whatever narc X. Right? They are feeding that ego, that false ego, to support their false ego by smearing someone else, because they are projecting their own ills, because they feel insecure and they want to destroy someone who they're afraid of, or they're jealous of, or has strength that they think they don't have or cannot create in themselves, and so they begin to smear you. But eventually, yeah, when one of them falls, they're going to laugh. That laugh isn't a joking laugh. That laugh isn't between, like, Mr. Tickle Trunk and I, right? We're friends. We bust each other's balls. Sometimes sometimes friends bust friends' balls in a way that's like, yo, you're doing the same fucked up shit again. You know, like, you're trying to teach you a lesson, trying to be there for you. It's a positive and negative reinforcement, but done in a loving way. When toxic people bust each other's balls, they're not doing it for anything. It's not for reinforcement. It's not positive or negative reinforcement. It is devaluation. And depending on how the toxic relationship is between those people, the toxic person being devalued will take it as like a negative reinforcement. Right? They'll lie to themselves. That's what they do. They live in illusion. So they'll lie to themselves and suggest to themselves, or listen to the lie being told them, oh, I'm just joking with you. No, you're not just joking. You know, they're going to destroy you. They absolutely eat their own. You're still looking for it? I ain't no YouTuber. Man, you just took a trunk. You YouTuber. You're a panelist. Easton says, does that make sense? What they just said? Right. I do not need all the updates they can do. Crazy, but I'm not on my front yard. Yay. Right. But yeah, you're right. You don't need to see it. Have faith in karma. If you're, I don't know. I can't preach to atheists about this. This is a spiritual channel. I mean, I'm a spiritual cat. So whether you believe in God or the goddess or whatever it is that you believe in, universe, source, connection to it, karma comes back. It absolutely does. And if that karma's happened over and over again, like, let's say one thing that I've learned, if you do not, okay, go back. I'm gonna do this in the singular, all right? I believe in, I'm pagan. I believe in many gods, but I'm actually a true monotheist in that I believe in the universe and source, and that is the ultimate. That is it. So I'm just going to use the singular and say God. Okay. God will give you a cheat sheet to anything that happens in your life. Any obstacle that they're about to put you through, any trial or tribulation that you're about to go through, God will give you a cheat sheet. He'll give you a heads up. Whether it's your intuition, or it's something that you see on TV, or something you hear on the radio, or somewhere a memory that's triggered, or something you saw somebody else go through, he will give you a cheat sheet. And then put the hurdle in front of you. And it's up to you to learn to get over that hurdle, to better yourself, to strengthen yourself, to learn that lesson, whatever it is that you have to do. And if you don't, God's going to keep hitting you over the head with it. And he's going to use something in reference. All right? Because especially if you're being stubborn or pig-headed, like I have been. For instance, there is someone that I know that has done the same mistakes over and over again. The same mistakes, same person, same devaluation, same shit, over and over and over and over again. And God keeps trying to hit her over the head with a tractor trailer. It always involves a tractor trailer, or the car, or the road. There's always some almost accident, or an accident, or something that happens, and she just won't learn. She just does not learn. It just ignores the obvious lesson that's being told and just continues to do what she do. Those things will happen. God gives you a cheat sheet for your obstacles in your life. If you're really paying attention to source. And if you try and you fail, right? If you try and you fail just because you didn't try hard enough, or maybe you missed something, whatever it is, I don't think God comes down hard on you. But if you're just obstinate and you refuse to learn the lesson, it'll keep getting harder. And it'll keep smacking you over the head. And so listen, guys. Listen to your intuition. Something that narcissistic abuse victims, abuse survivors, learn is to listen to our intuition. Our intuition was telling us the whole time that person's lying, that person's trash, that person's cheating on you, they out doing something dirty. Your intuition was telling you over and over again. You just we kept ignoring it. Do not ignore your intuition. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please remember to share out the link, smash the like, leave a comment if I can't get to any of your comments below, or if you have a question later on you're watching this, please leave a comment in the comments, and I will do my best to respond to you with the most accurate knowledge that I have. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Mr. Tickle Trunk says, I actually checked one of your 3-year-old videos with no facial hair. You look like a baby, 10 years younger. Did I? Yeah, that's when I was like baby face and fat. I was like 30 pounds bigger. You know how scared I was, Miss Tickle Trunk, to be a YouTuber? I did not want to do that. I'm a recluse. You know, I'm an introvert. Doing this was growth for me. I had to stand up there with my fellow brothers and sisters out there. Had to stand up there. People like World Class, people like Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotic and Doomcock, people like Abu Nas, Hale, Mark with a C, Demogeny, you know, Jesse Milestone, all the people that I first started following. I wanted to stand up with them, defend our modern myths, and so that's what I did. I took a chance, and here I am. Let's see. Eastern says they keep shooting themselves in the foot, the thigh, and the balls. Yes, they do. And they will continue to do that because they live in negative cycles. They live as black holes, destroying other people, right? Excusing that behavior, living in an illusion. One YouTuber, I'm not sure it was a YouTuber, it was Narcissistic Abuse awareness content creator. It's great explanation about narcissists and how they go through something severe in their childhood, or you know, a severe instance of trauma in their childhood, and in order to protect themselves, they create this bubble around them. They create a bubble, a whole new world, a whole new illusion, which I understand because I went through abuse as a kid too, and so I mean I understand that I did that. And you create this new world around you. When you get to a certain point, if you have not gone to therapy, confronted the problems, you know, done the healing work, whatever it was you had to do, that bubble remains. And now the world, the outlook that you use, the lies, the disillusionment, or the illusions that you use to protect yourself, become this bubble, but that you see the world through, but it's like a funhouse mirror. And so all of your lies become this weird funhouse mirror that distorts everything, and so you see everything how you need to see it because of your unresolved issues. You distort reality. You know, that's why narcissists, toxic people, that's why they can just lie and project their own ills, and see people how they need to see them in order to, that's because that's a protection mechanism that they, from when they were a kid, an outdated protection mechanism that was never replaced with inner guidance, with a healed inner child. And so that when your person constantly looks through that funhouse mirror, they excuse their behaviors, right? They're a liar. Well, everybody else is a liar because they have to be, because I'm a liar, right? You know, I'm a cheater. Well, everybody else has to be because I'm a cheater, right? It's just completely distorting reality in order to fit their narrative. And because they don't take accountability and they don't face the damages in them, they don't face their, you know, what they've done to other people, because they live in those cycles of negativity. That's what they attract. That's what they're vibrating at. That's what they've, you know, so their resonance, their personal vibration, their resonance within the universe. Remember, everybody's a tuning fork. All of us, we're all tuning forks. And depending on our resonance, what we resonate, what energy we're putting out, depends on what energy we attract, because like attracts like. So those negative people who are vibrating at a low frequency, liars, cheaters, nasty, smearing, not taking accountability, they are attracting that energy. Now, deep down inside, they want to change. Whether they embrace that want to change is on them. Some do. Some go to psychotherapy. Some get the therapy or the help that they need. A lot of them don't. And so that part of them that wants to be better, that part of them that wants to change, to not be a complete piece of shit, that's the part that was attracted to you. They see this person who's forthright, kind, compassionate, honest, caring, giving, loving, all of the things that to them is just a fairy tale. But but deep down inside, they want that. They want to be that. And then they attract themselves to you. And what's sad is that while you are trying to elevate them, they will sabotage, because those types of toxic people are self-sabotaging. That's why where the future faking comes from. The future faking comes from them wanting to do better, wanting to be better, but then sabotaging themselves, not taking step 2, proving themselves to be a liar, not having the courage to move forward, to change, to do better for themselves. And so they will self-sabotage the relationship. They will cheat. They will go out and bang somebody else, or lie, or do something abhorrent that no reasonable person can excuse. To them, no reasonable person can excuse from their warped worldview. But because you love them so much and you believe in them and you want to see their damage healed, or you believe that future fake, you believe that illusion that they cast, whatever the case may be, you forgive them. It's going to be okay. I forgive you. We're going to move forward. You have the strength, the inner strength, the compassion, the love to forgive for the betterment of the relationship in the future. And from that moment, because they have not been courageous enough, they don't self-love, they don't have that ability, they don't have that kind of forgiveness in them, they see everything through their funhouse mirror of lies and illusion. They can't believe that that's possible. You are weak. They see that ultimate compassion, that connection with Source, that connection with God, that love that every human being should have with one another or for one another. They look at that as a weakness. Their demon takes over. And that is when they are allowed to devalue you. Because you're a liar. Obviously you're a liar. You don't really forgive them. How can anyone be that loving? How can anyone be that caring? That narcissist doesn't have the ability to grow beyond themselves, to be compassionate, to be kind, to grow beyond toxicity. So no one else can. Everyone else has a fragile ego just like them. You're a liar. How dare you forgive them? And that's when they begin to look at you as weak and begin to devalue you. Because they can't believe it in themselves. Just like all toxic people project their own insecurities, their fears, their damage, their negativity upon you. Your job is to resonate high. They attract shit. This is why they can so easily attract other narcissists and flying monkeys. Because they vibrate at a low damaging energy. Your job is to vibrate high as you heal. Increase your power, increase your knowledge, increase your awareness, your strength, and be positive. Let's see. And remember that Pluto ain't a planet anymore, ain't part of it. It's so sad. Ain't it? Bring Pluto back. I'm sorry, there's 9 planets. 9's a divine number. Bring Pluto back. Actually, look at it this way, Islam. At least the way that I look at it. I'm, the son of the solar god. Shine like a star. I am the star looking at the planets around me. I'm not on the outside. I am the center of my own universe. And so I'm looking out at the system of people and just observing them as they orbit around each other, and watch which ones break and which ones fall into a black hole. What is up, G's? Thank you for sharing. Oh, brother, thank you very much for being here. Or sister, thank you so much for being here. Absolutely. My connection to the content that I'm doing is my experiences. But as I said, through I'm a believer in manifestation, and I'm trying to limit this specifically Narc X, because I don't want to summon that back. I'm done with that. Don't want to summon it back. I only want to talk about it in relation. And to be fair, I hope that she learns and grows and becomes a better person. I really do. I hope she gets the help that she needs and does what she needs to do and succeeds in life, becoming a healthier person. That's, I think, the most positive way to be for me. I'm not telling y'all to do that. I ain't saying y'all gotta do that. You ain't gotta do that. Them Hoover hobgoblins, if you can't stand that hobgoblin, don't stand them. I'm just saying that's how I look at it. Easton says, you say I ain't got a dog in this fight. I think a lot about my pet project that is being to most, and they usually go away. What you think is what you manifest. What you think is what you manifest, Eastland. Mr. Tickle Trunk says, I bust your balls, I love you, man. Man bonding. Exactly, Tickle Trunk. Exactly. Yo, dude, I love you, brother. I absolutely love you, man. If I don't tease you, I don't like you. Exactly. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Yeah, and one of the problems that I'd had before that I understand now is discerning the difference between someone busting your balls because they like you and a toxic person trying to plant thoughts in your head and bring you down, which I've learned how to tell what that is now. So it's amazing. G says, I'm going to move out of the state I moved to for the narc, and she's trying to get me back. Woo! Get out. Go. Is that hoovering hobgoblin? You know what I mean? She got other dudes. She got other dudes, brother. She banging how many low rent motherfuckers out there? Probably pegging them. You know what I mean? Yeah, get out, get away. You're going to come to a point, I'm very confident you will get to a point where your strength, your self-empowerment, your worth, your self-worth, your inner strength is going to get to a point where you wouldn't need to move if you didn't want to. You're going to get to a point where you're going to be able to deflect that covert, whatever the hell type of narcissist she was, and flick that boogie right back to whatever trash she was pegging. You're going to be able to get to that point. But if you just move there for her, I understand, like memories and area, memories and areas they can create triggers, or they can be triggers for those events. And so, like, I understand that. I had to get away from people, places, activities, things that I did or wanted to do with NarcX, because they were triggering, to me. So, but you'll be whatever you need to do to heal. Nobody can tell you what you need to do to heal. You know what you need to do to heal, and you do that. And also, if you're still in the process where you're still talking about what you went through, don't let any person tell you to stop talking about it. Don't let any person tell you that you have to stop. Don't do that. I got brother Cody on TikTok. I gotta share a link. I'm gonna have him on as a guest. Boy Cody, he's a survivor of narcissistic abuse. He's a dude. It was very hard for him to talk about it because it's very hard for men to feel manly, to feel masculine, and come out and admit, hey, I had an Amber Heard in my life. Like, it was hard for me to come out and say, yo, I was sleeping with Amber Heard. With an Amber Heard. It's hard for us. So it was difficult for him, and he became very inspired, I guess, by myself and other men who were talking about this, and came out and started doing a channel. And now he's got his own content, his own channel on TikTok growing, and I love to see it. And one of the videos he recently just did was talking about, do not tell me to stop talking. No, don't let nobody tell you when to stop talking, all right? Because people that don't want to see you heal are going to tell you to stop talking. Like I said, friends and family who were giving you the advice for a long time, one of the reasons why you have to isolate even after that narcissist has isolated you, is because your friends and family, people who do care about you, will continue that abuse unknowingly with the I told you so's, I told you so, I told you so. Like, motherfucker, I was just treated like shit and devalued for the last how long in my life. I don't need another person who says that they care about me devaluing me further. You got to separate from those people. And there are people out there who are also toxic, who don't want to see you heal, and they will tell you, just shut up. I love the dudes who come through my channels. Like, oh, dude, stop bitching, bro. Stop crying. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, man, how many times did Uncle touch you? How many times did you go through? How many unresolved issues do you have that you feel the need to come at another brother who is expressing themselves and going through a healing journey? Nathan, you might as well just come over here. You're done texting me and called me like 8 times. I'm live. What? I'm live. What?
Can you look at the message and put me over a charger? Because mine just like broke. It's just not working.
Okay, eventually when I'm off a live stream. All right. Hey, do you need another cord? Do you need a cord? Okay, yeah, I got you, bro. Kids. It's all about them. Yeah, man, and all my fellow brothers out there who have survived, who's a survivor of abuse. I'm not for a man. You understand how difficult it is to be able to make that stand, to stand up and say, yo, because of the stigmas that are put on, not only the stigmas that are put on us by society, but also the other insecure men toxic males out there, or people that see that as a weakness because they can't even resolve their own shit, and us just as being men. It's difficult. I've gotten past that hurdle because I came out loud and proud screaming without a fuck to give for a long ass time. So I just don't care at this point. But if me being here can help you get through it, my brothers, then I'm doing something right. And my sisters out there too, I'm doing something right. Do never let anyone tell you to stop expressing yourself, expressing your truth, talking about what you went through. The people that are telling you to stop doing that are not your friends. They don't understand, and they don't care. They don't care. They care more about themselves than they do you. And unfortunately, that even goes for people who may genuinely have caring for you or have been a friend or a family member. They're placing themselves ahead of you and your needs. And that's just, it's what it is. Isolate, my brothers. Learn your personal strength. E-Vision's in the house. There will be signs for sure. There's always signs, E-Vision. There are always signs. You got to pay attention to them. Pay attention to your intuition. Eastland says, a good part of all the abuse I took, I have no guilt about leaving my mom to them. Was dumped, cut out, no guilt at all. Wow. Mom had unresolved issues, or mom was a narc herself. Probably falling in with toxic people. Toxic people love one another because they reinforce each other's bullshit. They'll sit around a table and circle jerk each other. They love it. They love reinforcing each other's lies. They love doing that. They love keeping that pain going. They love laughing at others while acting like they're their friend. Acting like one toxic person to another toxic person so that they can feel in control or feel like their toxicity isn't that bad, or seeing someone else in pain makes them feel better. It's a horrible state. It's a horrible thing. Ruth, what's up, Ruth? Hail, sister, good to see you. Thank you for a good evening, sweetheart. What's up, Zombie Box Reviews? Hail to Andy. Gonna have him on Rogue Entertainment here soon. Can't wait for that. Good to see you, brother. Let me see. Keep going. Angels. Oh, what's up, Angels? Hail to you. Eastland says, a dedication to reality and truth are running out if extra resources still bounce out of some distorted bubble. We can all bullshit ourselves. Let's be real. If you went through narcissistic abuse, you was bullshitting yourself. I was bullshitting myself. I kept saying, this isn't a goblin. Over and over again. That's not a goblin. They'll change. They'll take step 2. They'll make the leap. They understood this time. They're going to change now. Never now. So we bullshit ourselves too. The difference between us and toxic people is taking accountability, understanding where you went wrong, how you failed yourself, forgiving yourself, and just self-ownership. That is a big part of our healing process. You don't become the enemy. Don't become the person that abused you. Don't become that. And the way to do that is to own your shit. Like, really own your shit. Let's see. G says, I would rather be lied to than future faked. I mean, future faking is a lie. Future faking to me is a lie. If a person says, we're definitely going to do this, I'm going to move, or I'm going to make this change, or I'm going to prove myself, my trust, and my love to you, and then the first opportunity they have to do that, they break it, or they bring you to the point of the precipice of coming through with that promise of that future, and then go in complete contradiction. They lying. They've been lying. It is what it is. It is what it is. Papa Khan says, someone doesn't have to be a narcissist to always justify their shitty behavior on the action of another person. Absolutely not. Any type of toxicity, which, Papa, is one of the reasons why when I'm doing videos now and I'm doing live streams, I don't just use the term narcissist, because you can be narcissistic and not be a narcissist. Right? There's a difference. I mean, you can also be sociopathic and not have sociopathy. Although psychopaths are pretty much psychopaths. You can display toxic behavior and not be under the cluster B classifications. You could have Machiavellianism. Being a toxic piece of shit is being a toxic piece of shit. And like going back to what I was saying with Eastland, you can lie to yourself. You can be toxic to yourself when you're going through an abusive relationship. All right, not just narcissistic abuse, but a toxic relationship or abusive relationship itself, and you are accepting the lies from a person, you're lying to yourself. You know, your intuition knows you're lying to yourself. That's a good person. They actually love me. They're gonna do it this time. We're gonna build a few, and they lying, and you lying to yourself. So you're not actually being good to yourself. You gotta be a good person to you. And of course, there is also the off chance that because a person has such a static opinion or a static view of where they are, that they can lie to themselves and project that lie. I mean, I've done that. I know I've done that because I try and catch myself if I do that. So yeah, man, great point, brother. Thank you. Great comment. Eastland says, I forgive everyone, but I will be taking precautions to keep you from doing more damage. Yes. Isolation, creating strong boundaries, make people prove themselves through actions. Words don't mean shit. Make people prove themselves through actions. That's just what you have to do, especially if you're an empath or you're a very kind, giving person. I, for the longest time, spent all of my energy trying to grow other people, help other people's channels grow. Staying up all night talking to people with their headspace, giving them advice, giving them positive reinforcement, being there for them when they called, when they needed me. And I mean, in like the YouTube community. And not many of them were actually true. Only a handful were true. And the rest of them were using me in some way, or lying to me, or toxic and covert. Because I took people at their word. No, you can't take people at their word. Make them prove themselves and who they are through actions. And when you start doing that, when you create strong boundaries and you know your worth, you know your personal strength, and you begin to make people prove themselves through actions, you will find out how many toxic fucks you actually have around you, because they'll start dropping off, or they'll start creating problems, or that is the time when they'll stab you or steal from you or smear you or whatever they have to do. Create entire chat networks to ostracize, to leave you, specifically for the reason of leaving you out, so that they can smear you. That shit, I've been through it all at this point. I know. When you're at your lowest is when they come after you. And when I was at my lowest, people who I genuinely loved and knew for years began to devalue me covertly, create chat groups to talk shit about me and defame me, and try and sway friends or mutual people's opinions of me, covertly, in the cut, and then played the victim. That was the greatest part. And then played the victim. At this point, be the observer, because then you can see them for who they are and understand why they do what they do, and you can just go from there. Pay attention to what they accuse you of, as it seems unlikely and out of the blue. They are usually doing that exact, absolutely lying. People, they will project upon you. So if a narcissist or a toxic person accuses you of lying, cheating, smearing, stealing, whatever the fuck it is, that's what they're doing. That is what they're doing. Believe it, that is what they're doing. Toxic people tell you what they're about. They tell you. They're straight up. They'll tell you what's going on. eVision says, it would make a better world and place if they could all get better. It would be. It would be a perfect world, right? It'd be a perfect world if we didn't live in a universe of chaos where there are struggles between powers of light or forces of light and forces of dark, however you want to put it, positive and negative. It would be a perfect world if parents would stop abusing or putting children in abusive situations that create these types of disorders. It would be a perfect world if doctors could diagnose them, in utero, or just after birth, be able to diagnose certain things, like psychopathy, for instance. If they could just diagnose these things and then had treatments to help them, it would be. I look at people like, I suggest Lee Hammock. I've been reluctant to suggest Lee Hammock, but I feel confident in doing that now, because he has NPD. He goes to psychotherapy, has been for years, but I've been watching him for so long now that I understand he's genuinely trying to help people. He's trying to tell people what it's like to have narcissistic personality disorder and how narcissists are and how they treat others, and so he's a great person to follow. If they could all be like Lee and put the effort into change, especially the borderlines out there. Look, y'all borderlines be fucking us up. Borderline personality disorders, y'all be fucking us up, man. I'm just saying. I know some of y'all get help, and I'm not saying y'all's is evil. That's not all I'm saying. I'm saying that, especially if y'all chicks, the BPD chicks, the pussy is good. Okay, it's great. It's great. Have great times with it. Okay, but your head is fucked up. You're fucking us other dudes up. You can't have vagina that good and pull us in and then fuck us up. You gotta be borderlines. Get your shit together. I understand y'all the redhead stepchild of the cluster B disorder family, but you get your shit together, please. Okay, god damn it. Thank you very much, Zombie Box. Yeah, smash that like. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Papa says, I don't forgive everyone. That seems alarmingly irresponsible. In the sense of forgiving everyone and then being accepting of further abuse or further betrayal. Yes. But forgiveness is not for them in those cases. Forgiveness is for you. Because you got to let go of the hate, or it festers inside. If you allow hate, if you allow that kind of hate or the hate for those experiences to fester inside of you, then you're allowing a part of your tuning fork to vibrate at that frequency. You are allowing an attachment between you and that instance, that person, or even if it's not that person, but that instance, which then creates a resonance wave within you, a vibration that can be triggered by memories, or by an event that reminds you of that unresolved that thing that we weren't able to forgive, and will take you right back to that point. And all it takes, Papa, all it takes is that ping, that one ping to go out into the universe for something like it to be attracted to you. So forgiveness really isn't for them. Forgiveness is for you, because until you can forgive and let go, you're still going to have an attachment to that instance within the universe, within the divine, within source, within God, that are, you know, the world around you, the demonic dark force, whatever it is. You're still going to have a connection to it. And so whenever you're triggered, that resonance wave can ping right out like sonar, just ping right out into the ocean of energy around us and attract something like it. So forgiveness doesn't mean, forgiving someone else does not mean you allow that shit to happen again. Don't be a strong person. Be a strong, motivated person. Know your worth and recognize a motherfucker by their actions. And if their actions say that they dirt, okay, well, I forgive this happened. I'll never have nothing to do with you again. Let's see. Zombie Box Review says, in the same way that I'm the same with my friends. If I like you, I'll tease you a little. Yeah, you gotta bust balls, right? Yeah, absolutely. I think busting balls is the best way to convey negative reinforcement. At least, I mean, well, maybe not the best way, but it's a way to convey negative reinforcement without really bringing someone down, you know? And you need that. Your true friends, you can't just feed somebody. Sunshine and cotton candy. Right? You can't. If you really love somebody, every now and again you gotta go, yeah, you know, which makes it confusing for true friends and people, like I said, who are, you know, we're there trying to tell you, hey, that's a goblin that you're going out with, or that's a goblin sitting next to you, and you're like, no, that's not a goblin. That's not a goblin. You're bullshitting yourself that wasn't a goblin. It's definitely a goblin. And then you finally get through it, and you come back to them, and they want to give you that "I told you so." You know, they want, "I told you so. I told you so." And you got to walk away from them because they're continuing that abuse. They are unknowingly continuing that devaluation. You have to, you know, it's a shame, because if you're friends with people, healthy friends before that bust your balls, and they're just trying to bust your balls about it, you can't handle it at that time. Coming through manipulative, narcissistic, psychopathic abuse is some of the worst shit you could ever go through. You are fucked up and fragile. You're fucked. You're fucked. Your body's been trained to live in fight or flight. Your mind's been trained to look for help from your abuser, to find comfort from the person who fucking tore you down and abused you and trying to get you to off yourself. You know, like you're in a sick state of mind. You need help. You need to talk to somebody. You need to talk to multiple people that know what they're talking about, that have been through it. And unfortunately, the isolation that you are put through during narcissistic abuse, you have to turn the ship into that wave and become even more isolated. I got to shut this down here in a second because my boy needs me and the family first. So I'm going to go through here and just try and be, I'm so long-winded. Forgiving means I do not have to carry anger over what they did. I say to myself, you can stand having done it, and I can stand you having done it to me. And odd they can't stand what they did. I said wait, I lived through this. You cannot stand to even hear about it. And you can call me weak. Yeah, that makes no sense. Nah, you're the strongest. Easton, you're a fucking hero. You're a tank. Stigmas are important. Absolutely, stigmas are important. Forgiving others does not mean that what they did was okay or morally right. Yep, or not heinous. Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. The idea today that no one should be ashamed of anything is horseshit. Absolutely. Have some shame. I'm ashamed. The sex was great, Papa. I ain't gonna lie, but I am ashamed of the shit I put up with. Well, some of no shame at all. No, not at all. Angelus Draven, hail, there be rogues here. Part of Rogue Entertainment, guys. Please check out Angelus Draven's wrestling streams. My ex had me in her dad's wedding, and the next day she tried to ghost me, even though she was still on the phone bill. Yeah. Because she needed you for something, for an image to maintain, and then ghost you because she didn't need you. It's messed up, brother. That is so messed up. That's how you end up with proud pedophiles. No shame. Absolutely, Papa. Protect the kids. Protect them kids out there, guys. Side note, gay pride has nothing to do with having children at sexual kink events. Okay? That's not good. That's no bueno. No. What clown verse am I watching? What's up, man? I'm pretty sociopathic, but it seems to look a lot like alcoholism. Sociopaths, I mean, brother, do you get treatment or do you talk to anybody about your sociopathy? And I understand, I'm learning more about it. Sociopaths have empathy and understanding. So, I mean, it looks a lot like alcoholism. Is there a correlation between the two? If you could put the information about that, about your experience, I'd love to hear it in the comment after I turn the stream off. Please, I'll definitely read it. Thank you, Clownverse. I appreciate you. Since you blamed me when I cut her off my phone bill, that's because she don't take accountability. She didn't take accountability. What she did was justified. She's allowed to treat you like shit, to make you feel great, take you to a wedding, and then ghost you the next day, and then be mad that you're not further supporting her while she's out pegging some biker in the ass. Okay? I gotta stop going back to that. I gotta let that go. Guys, I'm working on that one. I'm working on it. eVision says, now that I've been away from the narc I was with for about 2.5 years, I always seem to ask myself at some point, what the hell was I thinking? I'll be doing that too, eVision. I do that too now. A little bit of what the hell was I doing? Yes, that's that. I'm not talking about her. But yeah, I do the same thing. Brooklyn says, my mom keeps pulling me back in. My mom was hurt by my taking care of myself and not taking the abuse. Sister, and finally it got drastic. I told her, you live with liars and they will hurt me and I'm out. You got to protect yourself. Doesn't matter who it is. She fell into it. I don't know if your mother was toxic and she just wanted to be around the toxic people, or she just fell into the lies. Not sure, but she should always think of her kid first. Family, blood should be thicker than water, but family doesn't always know blood. I'm sorry to hear about that, babe, but yeah, you got to protect yourself first. You absolutely have to. What does alcoholism and socio have to be so similar? I'm not even sure. I am not sure. Please, yeah, brother, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Please put it in the comment when I shut down the stream. I'd really appreciate it. I'd like to read that and do a little research on it. I have a friend of mine who battles alcoholism, and I'm sure he'd probably enjoy reading that too. I gotta cut out here soon. I appreciate all these comments. Thank you guys so much for being here. Angela says, my ex had bipolar as well, and never again. She was bipolar, probably some borderline throw in there, dude. I've known some bipolar cats, and it's a difficult thing. My mother has a smattering of that. My mom's got like a whole collection of shit that they've never been able to diagnose my mom. Thank God she calmed down. And you know what really calmed her down, Angeles, was moving away from the Northeast and going on the other side of the country, getting away from triggers, getting away from people, places, and things. That helps a person a lot to heal. G says, I cried tears of joy once because I was strong enough to make it out of that relationship before I knew what a narc was. And that's crazy. I never even really knew what a narcissist was, or narcissistic abuse, or cluster B personality disorders. Never. I mean, I knew what the words were, and I knew what how being sociopathic or psychopathic, like I knew what those were, but I didn't really understand it. Yeah, brother, I've cried many times in joy in the last few months, being able to overcome what I have. What's up, Gloria? Hail to you. Thank you so much for being your sister. Hello, my name is Gloria. I have a severely infected prolapsed uterus, and I'm going to die. I don't want to die. Please pray for my vaginal rejuvenation. God bless you. And my snatch. God bless you, snatch. God bless you, uterus. I hope, if that's not a troll, I'm sending love and light your way, sweetheart. And if it is a troll, well done. Imagine family saying you're crazy, and if they are aggressive against you. I have. I come from a toxic family. I have. Papa Cotton said, don't be a dumbass and try to keep a woman like that. You'll be eating another dude's nut out of her in no time, and she'll think it's funny. You'd be surprised how many times I've heard women say that. Man, that's crazy as shit, bro. That is fucking crazy as shit. I don't think it's so much being a dumbass. It's being susceptible to someone's manipulation and lies. You know, that's and that's why I say looking at like I have, is coming through it with a positive by understanding my lessons, understanding the lessons that were involved, my own weaknesses, becoming a better version of myself. And that's why I press that so hard to a lot of people. Learn to love them without trusting them. It's hard, but you can do it. Bible says good deeds done that way are like salt in their wounds. Forgiving them and being decent to them hurts them. If you can go about doing that, you are a good Christian. God bless. Until they, what's up, Nikki? How you doing, sweetheart? I'm actually about to shut this down. Let me see. Anybody else? All right, yes. Man, it was nice to see you too, Ruth. Guys, I got to go. I got stuff I got to get done. My son needs me. And this has been a great live stream. I think I'll do this again sometime real soon. Thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Please remember to support your independent content creators, support especially your narcissistic abuse and recovery and awareness content creators, and show them some love. There's a lot of great ones out there, and if my content isn't exactly for you, you may find someone, a life coach, who's more to your liking. If you're a person who's going through abuse and you're a person who's gone through it, like I said, and I'm just a little too aggressive or a little too out of the way from what you're used to dealing with, there are plenty out there. Please support those content creators. And you are worthy of love, y'all. You're absolutely worthy of it. Don't let anyone or anything in your life ever convince you that you're not worthy to be a better person, to strive for the best, and to be a better version of yourself. Take these negatives as positives. Learn how to grow, learn how to better yourself, and I promise you that when I get this channel monetized, I'm going to do an entire members-only series on how to get back at these hoovering hobgoblins, because it can be done. I've done it more than twice now. So thank you guys so much. Do I have a Cash App? Yes, at Lodonis. Cash App is $Lodonis, capital Lodonis. Thank you, Nikki. I could actually use some help right now. So that's great. Thank you guys so much for being here. I greatly appreciate you. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And suffer no fools.